Welcome everyone back to the Alpha Capital YouTube channel. We are here for another podcast with one of our funded traders. Absolutely incredible. I'm your host, Words of Wisdom, and we are joined by a trader who has just achieved after the profit split, 34K when it comes to their payouts for their trading, but also before the split, 42K. But in total, as of next week, 300K in total payouts so far for this individual, and it's absolutely incredible, their journey so far, and we're going to learn so much from them. Please welcome KM to the podcast. Man,
Thank you for having me.
No, it's my pleasure. I know we got to meet in Times Square the other day, so thank you for coming out as well. That was incredible. I mean, we shot some content there, which people will either see before or after this. I'm not sure, but let's go straight back to the beginning. Like, what was it about trading, and how did you get into trading?
So I started with crypto
Oh,
in 2017, but it wasn't like day trading. It was just like buy low, sell high, that kind of stuff. And after I dropped out of college, I was working at the restaurant, just as a server. And then after the COVID hit, that's when I started like day trading. Yeah, that's when I got to trading.
When COVID hit, were you like not working then? Did you have time off?
No.
Yeah. So then it just gave you more time to learn and stuff. Yeah. How did that look in the beginning though, your trading journey? Was it, I know you said you started in crypto. How was that going? Was that going good or?
So by luck, I made decent amount of money, but then I also got scammed. I don't know if you heard of BitConnect.
Yes.
Yeah, that and other stuff too. So I made good money. I lost like more than half.
Yeah. How did you handle that at that time? If that was something quite new to you, losing that sort of money.
I didn't know anything about trading. So okay, I made some money. I lost money. I have to go back to the restaurant working as a server. Cool, but I didn't really know anything about trading at that time.
Yeah. So what was it that then in COVID, what did you come across to get into the trading side?
So COVID hit, I couldn't work because obviously all the restaurants shut down. So I was at home, but I needed to make money because I had a single mom. I have to support her. So I had to find something out. So on YouTube, I just, passive income, whatever, on how to make money online. And then I saw day trading. I was like, I traded crypto before, but what's day trading? Then that's how I got into stocks. So yeah, so originally I'm from stock market.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about the Forex, CFD, nothing about that. So at that time, I just straight went into stocks. Within 2 months, I was like, okay, I'm gonna trade with my live capital. But the thing is, in order to day trade stocks, you need $25,000 in your account. So that was all my savings working from the restaurant. So I had a 1 day with demo account. Next day, I was like, I'm going in.
Yeah.
25,000 in. The people say there's a beginner's luck. I think it's true. I had luck. So I flipped that account to like 50,000 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Next week, I lost all.
Really? Yeah. How did that feel at the time though?
Like, I don't even know how to say. Like, that was my first time losing all like big amount of money in short time. So I was like, well, maybe this is not the right. Maybe I have to do something else. But at the same time, the opportunity, the infinite amount the money that I can make, it was like crazy. Because you work as a server the whole day, you make 200, 300 in a good day. But by clicking button at home, you make a couple $1,000s. It was like crazy to me. So I was like, oh, I can't give up. So I just continued.
Do you feel like because you flipped it originally and then lost it all, it kind of showed you, okay, this is possible? I obviously made some sort of mistake, but this is possible. So that's what kept you going? Because if you, let's say, just put it in and lost it all straight away, do you think you would have then been put off?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Because it was possible. Because I did it. So deep inside, I know I can do it again because if I did it. If I didn't flip that account, I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know any other traders? Is any of your friends traders or anything like that at that time?
No,
Mm.
no, no.
So then from there, where was it that you came across say, a lot of Forex and stuff, prop firms, etc.?
Yeah. So long story short, I was struggling about 3 years in trading stocks, flipping account 25,000 to what 50, 80K in a few weeks, lose all, go back in, lose all, go back in, literally like 50 times for 3 years.
So how much did you end up losing in total?
I don't even know. The biggest, like in 2 days, I lost like 80K one time,
Really?
and I
Was that money that had like maybe profits and then lost?
yeah, profits and losses. So for 3 years, I was struggling, and then I was working. I was keep working at the restaurant. It was a Korean barbecue, and then like coincidentally I met James Storms,
Mm.
and then at that time I heard about forex trading, but I always thought forex a scam because it was like 1 to 500 leverage.
Mm.
You only need like $100 to trade. I didn't even want to try forex, but because of James, I got into forex. But because I was trading only stock market, the only thing that I could trade was indices. So I stuck with US 30, and I heard about prop firms. So okay, I don't I don't need $25,000 to trade.
Mhm.
You only need a couple. Okay, why don't I try? So that's how I got into prop firms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was that journey like when you first got into it?
So the again, that was my first time trading indices.
Mhm.
I went straight from stock market trading equities to indices. US 30 is totally different from trading stocks. I mean, the way how I traded,
Mhm.
so it was not easy. So, but again, I don't know. I got lucky. So within 2 months, I was able to like constantly get see good profits. So first 3 months with firm, the first month I was up 30K, and I got greedy. I wanted the 100K payout, and I lost the account.
Mhm.
Next month I got funded again. I made 40K, lost it all. Next month I made 30K, lost it all. So
Wow.
within 3 months I made 100K. All I needed to was just sit, relax, wait for the payout date, payout request. That was all I needed. But because I got greedy, because I wanted the 100K, or I want to become, I chased the money.
Mhm.
Yeah, with 3 months I lost 100K. I was in depression. But I still had to work at a restaurant. So imagine from morning I traded, lose all my money, lose all my funded account, go to work. It was hard. But after that, last year of about end of August,
Mm.
that's when I was like, I gotta get rid of the dollar sign. Just don't look at the numbers. Just trade. Request a payout, no matter how much, even if it's $1,000, couple $100, doesn't matter. You have to request a payout. Don't go for the home run. Yeah, the first payout was 19K. After that, it was just so within 4 or 5 months, I had total 146K payout from just that one firm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would say, by the sounds of it, it sounds like your strategy's always been there. It was more so just the monetary aspect. Do you think it was because you had taken such heavy losses before? So when these profits were finally being consistent, essentially, your mindset was just, I need to make those losses back, and then I can
100%.
trade.
Yeah. Uh, the mindset I had was I have to get my money back.
Mhm.
I have to make more. I was just rushing because the pressure I had was not only about trading, because I had also family problem. I was struggling financially.
Mhm.
Because of that, I wanted big money fast, quick. That got me. That got me hit
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
That's what they always say when you add, that when there's pressure, pressure's good, but it's also bad. Like in trading in particular,
Oh yeah.
Like if you add extra pressure outside of trading onto you, it's always going to impact your trading.
Yeah,
So
100%.
a lot of people go through that, but what was it then for you that really made the difference to change that for you? So to remove that pressure and just focus on your trading.
Man, people say, or to tell you, risk management, size down, whatever you hear, you will get that all the time. But honestly, for me, it was God's grace. Like without His grace, I don't think I would be here. Like I just kept going, because I knew I could do it, because I've proved myself, but because of the greed, so I had to get rid of that greed. So don't look at the number. I mean, how much you're making. Don't even look at it. Once you're in the trade, don't even look at the profits that you're making, because I was making like $1,000, $10,000 in profits, because I was so focused on the amount, I couldn't focus on the trade. So I had to look away of the number, just focus on the setups trading. That's how I did it.
Okay, so like making sure not to be looking at the P&L, the floating profit and loss,
Correct.
more so just focus on the actual trade itself, because otherwise when focused on that, it would just become this thing where you'd be focusing on that too much and forget the trade.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And in terms of like the progression that you had from there was pretty insane in terms of like you had taken all these losses, then you found prop firms, should have had 100K if you had just, requested the payout. And then after that point, then you started to see your payouts. And what's interesting with yourself is like, it seems like a lot of your payouts are quite large in size. Like, what is the reason for that? Are you risking a bit more, or what's the process behind?
Yeah. My average risk would be 2%, like 1.5, 2%. Because if you're so confident about your setup and strategy, just why not risk that much? Obviously, you have to manage the risk parameter of 5% daily. But at the same time, if you see the setup, just because if you are scared to lose, you won't be able to make. But for me, like I said, I need a big amount because I had to support my mom, whatever. I needed money quick. That's why I was like, yeah, it's good and bad,
Yeah. So do you feel like that also, even though it was the thing kind of making you be a bit greedy, and sort of not rushing, but wanting the big payouts, was the same thing though that helped you to sort of get used to risk and used to risking more?
100%, yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting, like we said, like, it's good and bad, depending how you use it.
Yeah.
But that's great to hear. That's great to hear. And as you said, you've mentioned obviously, you need to support your mum, and now as of next week, you're going to be over 300K in total payouts in about a year, roughly, which is incredible. Huge congrats to you. But how does it feel then to be able to, to do that now, to be able to give back to your mum? And what does she think about it? I'm sure, did she know about the trading before when you weren't winning?
Before, no. She recently found out because I'm not working. I'm just full-time trading now. So.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's like, what are you doing at home, man?
Yeah.
So
she's getting worried.
yeah, but man, everything's God's grace, I wouldn't be here like anything without God. But yeah, I never imagined I could have made so much money, even 50K. For some people, that's a lot of money. For me, it was a huge amount. So yeah.
So what is it? Are you happy you essentially went through everything that you went through? Because as you said, at one point you're really down, But then now to be able to go through that and learn the lessons necessary and then do the right steps to be able to have the reward at the end.
If I think of that now, I needed that moment. I needed those hard times. Like, I don't want to go back, obviously, but I needed that so that I stay humble. I don't get greedy. Yeah, I needed the time.
Have you ever had a mentor in your journey?
Mentor, in the beginning, no. But definitely mentally, James helped me a lot because he was my first time seeing an actual trader in person. Because meeting in person and seeing it online is totally different. The energy you get,
Yeah.
the motivation, everything just is totally different if you meet someone in person. Yeah, James, shout out James. And in trading wise, Karma and Dylan in this invested trade.
Mm.
Yeah, I found them last year of Feb or March, before March, definitely. Yeah, trading strategy wise, definitely they helped me a lot. And I actually met them in person last summer.
Mm-hmm.
That was also like helped me like a lot. Yeah.
No, definitely. Carmine's an incredible trader, incredible speaker, incredible teacher by the sounds of it as well. Same with Dylan. Yeah, great guys. I've been had the pleasure of meeting them as well. And you again, energy, as you talked about, energy is a very real thing. And by the sounds of it, it's been very beneficial for you to meet traders in person. And that's why, through Alpha in particular and just generally, I like to host events. For that very reason is that most traders unfortunately don't know other traders.
Hmm.
And I don't know what it is about meeting other traders. The energy is obviously one thing, and being able to see someone in person rather than just through a screen. But I also think by meeting other traders, you recognize that everyone goes through a very similar journey.
Yeah.
It's different amounts, different timelines. There's always different little details, but in general, everyone goes through the greed. Everyone goes
Hmm.
through the over risking, the lack of edge. Everyone goes through that period. And it's good to be able to hear that, to recognize, hey, okay, I'm not the idiot here. I'm not the only one. Um, but it's also good at those moments as well to speak to those who have gone through the journey and come out the other end. Because then you realize, okay, what little tips or tricks or things did they do to make progress within their journey?
Yeah.
Was that a similar thing like when you were at the event, that Carmine hosted and
Yeah,
meeting Carmine and
definitely.
so on?
Yeah. It wasn't like, oh, I asked them how to trade. It wasn't nothing like that. Just casual conversation. But just I don't know the energy you get.
Mm.
Just can't describe in words. Yeah.
Well, hey, like, some people they feel that energy. And unfortunately, it's like one of those motivation things. They only keep it for like a week or 2 weeks, right? And then they
Mm-hmm.
fade and they go back to normal. But it sounds like you really took that on board and started taking steps.
Yeah.
Is there anything in terms of, so we talked about risk, in terms of, handling the size, is that still what you do to this day? Just don't look at the P&L?
I try to. I
Mm-hmm.
try not to look, but you can't. Even though they say, oh, you have to control the emotion, you can't 100% control all the emotions. But you just have to try your best. But yeah, I try not to look at the P&L. But recently, because I trade futures with my personal account,
Yep.
CFD with prop firms, right? But recently, with my personal account, I flipped 22K to 100K in 4 hours. That was a big size of risk,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, big leverage. But I saw the setup. I was comfortable about it because you have to be comfortable losing the amount. So let's say if you're risking $5,000, are you comfortable losing that? Are you okay with that? And then if you're okay with it, then go for it. That's what I did. Yeah.
That's incredible. Incredible. So flipped it to in 4 hours.
Yeah, less than 4 hours. Yeah.
How does that make you feel though, knowing like everything that you've been through, to then have those moments where you're doing payouts for, essentially 42K in profits, then 34K after splits, etc. 300K now in a space of just over a year on prop firms, and then your personal account as well. Like, how does it feel? Do you feel accomplished in terms of like you have the skill set now, or do you ever have any worry that comes in?
I do believe I have the skill set, but at the same time, I can't. I can't just lay back. I have to maintain that consistency. Not just in terms of trading strategy, your mindset. Not because I trade with high risk, but also oh what I was gonna say was you have to just have that mindset consistently. You can't.
Can't have an off day.
No, no, yeah.
I think that's where misconception comes in. Like everyone gets into trading for freedom. You know, they want to live a
Mhm.
free life. They wake up when they want and do what they want each day, etc. Which, yes, of course, is possible. But the reality, really, if you want to trade at a high level, is you, as you say, have to always be switched on day after day, and you essentially trading becomes your job. Trading becomes your business, and therefore you always have to try and be on point. Right? There will be days all week, or a vacation, for example, or a few days where you want to just take some time off to decompress. Because at the end of the day, it's no matter how good you are as a trader, it's always going to be taxing on your energy, mental energy. Even if you're not getting as emotional anymore,
Mhm.
it's still going to be very taxing because you have to be focused.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't recognize, even like in a podcast, for example, you have to, not as focused as the charts, of course, but there's an element of focus there. And therefore, you can even get drained from doing podcasts, for example, let alone when you're actually trading the financial markets and you're seeing price movements at such a rapid rate, especially when you start trading with size as well. Those emotions will be heightened, that focus will be even more. So, you're 100% right in highlighting that because there is a misconception. People think that once you're making money,
Yeah.
now you can tone it down. You can relax because you've got this skill set where you can just look at the chart and click a button and make money, right? When in reality, for you to do that, you have to always be focused. And consistency is, people think it's like a destination. Or one day I'll be consistent.
Mhm.
But that is not how it works. Consistency is an everyday thing,
Yeah.
something that is continuous, something that doesn't end. And I think that's why it's a misconception, because people don't really get in their head things that last essentially forever,
Mhm.
right? But what is your goal with trading? Like, where is it that you want to take it?
Obviously, I have to make a lot of money, but
Mhm.
but my final goal is I want to able to teach people like free in trading. At the same time, I want to spread words of God because
Mhm.
without God's grace, I wouldn't be here. So I want to trade. I want to teach trading, but at the same time, I want to spread the word of God. Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah, very, very incredible. And are you from South Korea?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever? Is there a big South Korean like trading community? Do you know?
It's pretty. Yeah.
There is.
Especially crypto, Bitcoin.
Crypto, yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine
Yeah.
crypto. Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. The only reason I asked that is because I've been to South Korea
Oh.
once. I went to Seoul.
So
Um, my brother-in-law was he was studying there, so I went there,
nice.
and a lot of people don't. They would be surprised when I say that. I went to these the most amazing mountains there. I don't know what they're called. They're close to Seoul City.
Okay.
Like probably the most peaceful time I've ever had. It was so like natural. They had like temples that built into
Mm-hmm.
the mountains themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible,
Mm-hmm.
incredible. I didn't get to go around too much, but incredible place. I always like traveling. Like, have you traveled much? Have you been able to travel much?
No, but I've been to Korea before COVID hit.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I went before COVID as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But you got plans to travel? You got to get you to the UK, get you into the studio back home.
Yeah, I love to. I would love to travel, but before I couldn't imagine traveling because
Hmm.
financially I was struggling. I had so many things to do. I had so many to take care of. So now that I'm able to do that, I'm just thankful. Yeah, I'm willing to travel. Like I want to. Yeah, I would
I'm glad to hear it. Where do you think you would go?
definitely UK,
Yeah,
Dubai. I don't know. I don't know anywhere. Yeah.
that's incredible. That's great. How does that feel though, in terms of like that's such a change in circumstance? Thanks to your hard work though. Like, let's not forget, you had to go through some real lows before you got to those highs.
Mhm.
But how does it feel on the other end? Like when you reflect back, like, okay, there was a point where I couldn't travel. It wasn't even something that I thought about, for example, because I couldn't afford it. And then going through the whole journey that you have to now being in a position where you've worked hard at a skill set and continue to work hard to apply that skill set that is allowing you to have a different life, opportunities and opening doors for yourself and for your family, based on your skill set, based on what you're doing in the markets?
Man, again, I wouldn't be here without God's grace, but the major fact was I didn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 years I was struggling, but deep inside, I told myself I'll never give up. But at the same time, whenever I face the circumstances, I'm like, "Oh, should I give up? Maybe trading is not right for me, But I was like, this is my last shot. I was dropped out of college. I don't have any talent. I'm not good at it. Like, I'm not good at anything. I'm not smart. I don't know anything. But so this is my last one shot, and I believe God's way, God's plan. Like, there's no such thing as coincidence. There's a reason for that, and I believe there's a reason God is showing me that I'm able to do like things right now.
Mm.
It's for the future, for His work, not me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, obviously I'm thankful. I'm happy with the achievement that I did, but at the end of the day, it's all for His grace.
Mm-hmm. And what, in terms of what we talked about, the P&L to one side, right? And then meeting traders in person, really making a difference as well. What was it in terms of strategy wise? Was there anything strategy wise that made a big difference for you? Like how you look at the market or what you're looking for in the market?
I keep it very simple. I don't have any indicators. My chart. If you look at my chart, some traders may think, "Are you really a trader?" Because all they see is candlesticks with clean chart.
Mm.
Although I do have key levels. That's it.
Yeah.
Just key level, supply, demand, price action, volume. That's all I need. Yeah.
Would you say you're a day trader, scalper?
I'm a scalper.
Scalper? Very nice. And what sort of, do you have like a fixed R multiple you go for, or?
At least 3-1, 3-1 or 4-1, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
They're very good. And I know Carmine likes to use a lot of like level 2.
Order flow, footprints. Yeah.
You use that as well?
No, because I'm still learning it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the future, I'm definitely gonna adapt.
To be fair, yeah, in futures, you only really use it in futures in comparison to Forex.
Yeah,
it's not
but
regular.
Like I said, I'm not smart. I don't catch things very quick. I'm very simple. So order flow, footprints, it's difficult for me. So
remember always though, you are smart, because for you to achieve what you achieve in the markets, you're smart. What is the definition of smart? There isn't one really. There's definition of genius, for example. Like we have our Einsteins, right? But everyone else, if you're working hard at something, you're getting results at something, regardless of what it is, you're smart. Yeah. Always remember positive self-talk. Yeah. I don't like negative self-talk because it doesn't make sense, especially if you sat here and you've achieved what you achieved. I think you're just very humble, which is very good. And, we love to see it. And, I love hearing journeys like yours and meeting people like you and traders like you, because, I don't know what it is. Like, you hear so often of people who go through the start of your journey, right? Those first 3 years. And it's obviously like the 1% of traders, right? Or whatever the percentage is of profitable traders. But it's amazing to hear stories like yourself where, if it wasn't thanks to, say, Alpha or social media, we wouldn't have been able to connect, for example, or meet in person.
100%.
And it's a huge blessing to be able to do that, to be able to see the impact that trading is having on people's lives and valuation firms are having on people's lives, and how people are getting through the hardship of their own personal life, the hardship of then trying to tackle trading and coming out the other end, especially someone like yourself where your goal is to, yes, of course, live your life, but to spread positivity, and spread, a message to the world that you think is positive and will impact others, and it's, like I said, it's very rare, and it's always a pleasure to be able to see that. In terms of our multiple, we talked about risk, we've talked about. In terms of evaluation firms, let's say I know before you were trading a lot of personal capital and taking some heavy losses. Do you feel like they've been very helpful in terms of you being able to leverage capital?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I'm so used to taking risk. I'm so used to losing money, so I'm able to like calculate the risk amount, whatever is the size, like very quick,
Hmm.
and I'm comfortable with losing. So yeah.
Would you say that, are you someone who goes through like accounts quite quickly, or are you someone who does keep hold of the accounts, if you know what I mean? So essentially, there are those who they make big payouts, but they lose accounts a lot, and they're always doing this sort of risk to reward to buying challenges versus payouts, right? Are you someone who just, yeah, you buy some accounts, you might lose accounts here and there, but you do relatively keep your accounts for a long period of time?
I think I'm like right in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you think that's because of like the risk size that you take?
because I still struggle about greed.
Hmm.
Whenever I get greedy, I'll lose my account. That's what I get.
Do you have like a sort of a greed level that you recognize? Do you know what I mean? Like if profits get to a certain size, then you start to recognize you're feeling that greed.
So the crazy thing is, if I make a couple $1,000s in few minutes, I'm not satisfied. That's the scary thing, scary part.
Mm.
If I see $10,000 profit in one day, okay, I did well. That's the scary part. I gotta get rid of that. But I still struggle, but I try not to focus on the piano. Definitely.
Well, overall, it's working for you, and I think again, it's kind of what we said earlier. It's positive and negative, right?
Yeah.
It's negative because yes, being satisfied is going to be needed to be able to withdraw as well, but also it's positive because it's going to probably allow you to hit higher levels, right? Um, because I can tell you're not someone who wants to hit these levels out of being boastful or trying to have it as an accolade. It's more so you're trying to be the best trader you can be, and I hope to believe that you see yourself being an even better trader in terms of you're capable of doing it, right?
Mhm.
So it's positive in that sense, and it probably will work out that way where you're essentially not satisfied now, but that lack of satisfaction later will allow you to actually hit new levels
Mhm.
where rather than a few thousand in quick profits, it will turn into tens of thousands, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's just the natural order of things. I've had on this trip, whilst I've been here in New York, I've spoken to 20-year veterans, 30-year veterans, 40. Yesterday, there's a 60-year veteran, which is crazy. I don't know how that's. I actually don't know how that's possible. I was saying to the engineer, I don't know if the timing or the thingy's right with that. But the key theme being that those guys who were managing, they were of a different era. They were in the pits, so they were managing like tens of millions, hundreds of millions of flow, right, and size, but a lot of the time for clients, right? But that was the main thing when I'd ask them like about the size. They'll be like, it's just the game, right? It's just numbers. It's just lots. It's contracts. That's all it is. And that's what allowed them to do it. And it's a very similar thing you're saying, where the greed is holding you back slightly, but it's what's going to, I think, lead you forward as well, especially with the personal account, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think it's a good way that you're doing it. Taking your payouts, performing there where it's less risk, right? Personal risk anyway.
Mhm.
Using that to then obviously put into your personal and
Yeah.
be able to then take slightly larger risk.
Mhm.
Um, and it's good because you don't hear a lot of traders who are using the evaluation firms then going into personal. I don't know why. I think it's a very good thing to do.
I think you should definitely, if you get profits from firm, definitely put some of the money into personal account
Hmm.
and grow that account definitely. Because I feel like with prop firms, um, so good and bad. The good thing is you only can lose certain amount, small amount you
Hmm.
can risk. But the bad thing is you you get the gambling habits, gambling mindset. Because I only lose
Okay, yeah, yeah.
certain
Hmm.
amount of challenge fees. Let me just risk high level.
Yeah,
In personal account, you won't be able to do that because
that's all of it.
that's all you know.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean. So, like, because the positive and negative again,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
the, the negative being that, um, because it's such a small amount, it's very easy to go just kind of not take it as serious and
Yeah.
just be okay with losing it. While the positive being that you don't need to spend crazy amounts or put like 100,000 in of your own capital
Right.
when you can go this route. If you're a good trader with an edge, then you're providing that your analysis, right, and you're essentially an analyst for these firms. Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right there. Do you feel like that was that an issue when you first found firms though? Do you think that you didn't have a strong enough edge and you were just kind of probably throwing money at it? Or was it soon after you found firms that you found your edge anyway?
I think yeah, after started trading with firms, that's what I found my edge.
Do you think it helped actually, in the sense of like having the rules, like having certain like
Definitely.
the daily rules and the overall?
Definitely. The
Yeah,
daily rules, whatever the rules that you have to follow. Yeah, that definitely. Yeah.
because it's interesting. It's again, it's like you can treat it in a way where it's like, oh, I'm only risking X amount, but I do think that is one of the actual positives
Yeah.
of the firms is that they do put guidelines in place. Don't get me wrong, for some people they don't care. They don't even look at it.
Mhm.
A lot of people unfortunately they don't have an edge, but yet they'll still buy even though everyone says, even the firm itself says have an edge, then come here, right? You have the parameters, you know what you need to achieve. And I've always found it fascinating. Like it shocks me to this day. Like, you need to make X percentage, right? Before there used to be a time limit, right? So let's say when there was a time limit, you would have to make X percentage in X time to be able to pass. But yet there'll be people taking these challenges when they've never made that much in that time. And so it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make like I remember asking one trader, I was like, have you ever made it used to be 10% in 30 days. So I said, have you ever made 10% in 30 days on demo? Like just demo anywhere, like back testing, anything. No. So why do you keep buying challenges then? It doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't even make sense. Like you've never passed it. You've never made it ever. So why would you keep throwing money at it? Right? It doesn't make sense. But such is the nature of trading, I think. Such is the nature of trading.
Yeah.
To this day, obviously, I know you've met the sort of investor trade, their event. You've met obviously James Storms, but do you know any traders now? Do you have any like trading friends or in any? Are you in? Is there a community with investor trade you're part of?
Yeah, there's a community in
Hmm.
Investi Trade, but I like to trade and I like to just stay alone.
Okay.
I'm very what's that word? Not
Introvert.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you feel like that's helpful though for you, so you don't get any distractions
In the
and?
first year, like the first 3 years of journey, it's very lonely
Mhm,
because you don't have anyone to talk to.
mhm.
Then, but good and bad. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's nice to be able to speak to people, but in terms of your trading, it's better to just focus on like what you're seeing in the markets and not taking other opinions and stuff.
I I think in trading wise, you just have to focus on yourself.
Mhm.
You don't, I'm not a fan of following the signals or whatever trading like the call out to whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not a
yeah.
fan of that
Mhm.
because in the long term you won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You won't be getting the skill set. You'll just be following someone else.
just I know some famous traders said you versus you.
Mhm.
That's 100%. Yeah.
100%. No. No, I love that. And in terms of what do you see in terms of your trading career? Like what was the is there one thing that sticks out to you that really go, okay, that was the thing that really helped me to change?
Mm. Greed,
Mhm.
getting getting rid of that greed. Yeah.
And was
Not
that literally just like
not
hiding that P&L?
yeah, hiding the P&L, not chasing the money, just I think the greed comes when you're not thankful.
Mhm.
If you are thankful, even just $100, $200, you won't get greedy. But if you're not thankful, you'll go for the home run, then
Mhm.
you'll get hit. The
Mhm.
market will always humble you. Because in the beginning, when I was getting lucky, I got cocky and I thought I was talented. I was gifted in trading,
Mhm.
but no, you have to stay humble and you have to be thankful. That's why I'm thankful that I was working at the restaurant
Mhm.
because so I was standing 9 hours grilling. Korean barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
If you think and make about 200, 300 a day, how can you not be thankful when you're at home clicking button, you make thousands of dollars? How can you not be thankful? Yeah, I always remind me of that.
Yeah, no, gratitude is a very powerful thing, and don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of it, definitely, in terms of forgetting, the situation you could be in very easily and where you used to be. I used to work in like a chicken shop, like essentially like a KFC, if you will.
Mhm.
I worked as a waiter in call centers and so on. And at those times, £1,000, for example, would be a lot of money. Um, Obviously, it's still a lot of money, and that's the difference. So, like you said, like when you keep that gratitude and remain grateful for the blessings that you have, regardless of whether you know, believe that it's like a divine intervention involved in that, or whether it's just that your hard work has done that, or a combination of the two. Regardless of that, it's still that gratitude that should be there that keeps you, as you say, grounded. Because especially in this Wi-Fi money age, especially with trading, we can get so disconnected from the money because it's all on a screen,
Yeah.
and there's very little work involved in the sense of manual labor. As you said, you stand there 9 hours on a grill, you're going to feel that, every
Mhm.
day over and over. You're going to continue to feel that. And the money you make is directly correlated to that very grueling work
Mhm.
versus you make a few $1,000s clicking buttons in an hour. It's so easy to
Yeah.
kind of think it's like a glitch in the matrix. It's a money printer, as some people
Mhm.
sort of describe it as. And in that process, a lot of people do, I believe, sort of get disconnected to the blessings that they have in their life and the opportunities that they get to have, while so many don't, or even if they're just reflecting on where they used to be, which is incredible, though, obviously, to go from doing the work that you did, long hours, making $200 to $300 to making $300,000 as a trader in the space of just about a year. And that's thanks to your hard work. Thanks to your hard work. And KM, again, I appreciate you being with us today. Sharing your journey with us.
Pleasure.
I know it's not something that you've probably done before, but hopefully we'll see you again. We'll get you onto Words of Wisdom as well at some point. We'll get you at these alpha events that we're going to be hosting as well. I'd love to see you there. But keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I believe that you're going to be continue to be an incredible trader. And it's been a blessing to hear your story as well today. But everyone at home, make sure you drop a comment with your biggest takeaway from this episode. If there's any links for KM, they will be in the description below. Hit subscribe. There'll be other episodes on the Alpha YouTube channel on screen right now, so check those out. And until next time, take care.